today we are going to be niching you down.
I coach people who are beginning their journey as virtual assistants or who feel stuck. I don't remember someone telling me outrightly, like, you're doing this wrong and you're not supposed to be doing this. And so I'm trying to create that space for virtual assistants to feel safe.
The more specific you get, the more you're able to master your craft, and you can even charge more than other people are charging in that particular niche.
That's a very big one. Clock that.
Where were my nails now?
They're not clicking. We have to get the long nails,
Nigerians are coming up in this field, and
they have a big population.
I think in the virtual assistant industry, if one niche is not working for you, explore another niche. In my bootcamp. But before we even get to
sign up right now.
Yes.
For them.
Do sign up.
Women, this is where start thinking about what you bring to the other table. There is no
does
table.
Does not matter.
Look at the men in the set.
Welcome to Virtually Vast. We are virtual assistants, don't just take notes, we take over. I'm your host, Virtually Saitore, and here we dive into the mess, the wins, and the money moves behind every virtual assistant. So pour in your chai, rebuke that imposter syndrome, and let's get you virtually vast. Welcome to the second episode of the Virtually Vast podcast, and today we are going to be niching you down. What if I told you today that most virtual assistants, the reason why they're struggling to get jobs out here, it's because they have not niched down. It's not about the skill set you have. It's not about the transferable skills you have anymore, but you have to niche down and find your footing in one niche as a virtual assistant. Today, I'm joined by the amazing Eve Wanjiru. She calls herself Eve the VApreneur on TikTok, and will be scouring through every niche that is online or every available niche in the virtual assistant space with her. Karibu, Eve.
Thank you so much. I'm so honored to be in Virtually Vast podcast, and I'm so excited to be sitting right next to the Saitore. I'm so excited. My name is Eve. If you haven't ever heard of me, I'm Eve the VApreneur on TikTok, and I'm an executive virtual assistant as well as a coach. I coach people who are beginning their journey as virtual assistants or who feel stuck, and helping them try to figure out what they are supposed to do next. And I'm so excited. I think the topic today is niching down, and I'm so excited to be talking about that because I've seen how much niching down can take you and how it gives you clarity in this field, especially.
Before we even get to the niches that are available in the virtual assistant space, I would like you to talk about what you do on TikTok. What type of content do you do on TikTok?
Well, I'm known for my straightforwardness. People call me the straightforward person or the cutthroat VA. But mostly I post content that is speaking directly to virtual assistants and virtual assistants, especially who are still trying to figure out and still trying to fit in this space. And I think it's very much needed for people to speak outrightly about the mistakes that are being made and the things and the challenges that are being met by virtual assistants, because I was once there, and sometimes I don't remember someone telling me outrightly, like, you're doing this wrong and you're not supposed to be doing this. And so I'm trying to create that space for virtual assistants to feel safe while also getting called out, because I think we are a lot. When I was doing the cohort, in our own cohort of the ALX virtual assistants course, we were actually 30,000 virtual assistants doing the course. And up to now, they're still, enrolling new students every day. They're still enrolling virtual assistants every day. And I know the number has even increased. So there's a lot of people in the market. And if you're not telling these people the real things, the real the real source. We're not giving them the real, information about this field and what you need to actually remain relevant. I think we might be losing a lot of people, and we're still trying to put Kenya in the map. We're still trying to create a market like the one in the Philippines. They're well known for virtual assistants and such things.
Guatemala,
exactly. So we're still trying to put Kenya in the market and be known for the best virtual assistants you could ever find in Africa.
That is so nice. I just remembered that you once mentioned, I think on your TikTok or to me directly, that you have been a VA recruiter before. So do you think like niching down in this industry is, what sets you apart as a VA? Because again, you have been in the recruitment industry in this space. So you'd have a better understanding of what type of VAs you recruited during that time while you're in the recruitment industry.
Yeah, I was in the recruitment industry because I have worked with an agency, and I was the virtual assistants manager, meaning I was doing everything I was dealing with virtual assistants. So from the point of recruitment to creating the contracts and such things, and making sure that virtual assistants are ready for the clients that they're going to be handed to by the agency. I think there was a lot of mistakes that I was really noticing, and one of them, I'll start with the mistakes, then come to how niching down helps you. So one of the mistakes is that we have AI, right? And there's, I think, a lot of people, I don't know if it's the prompts that people use, they're not so unique. So a lot of people have the same kind of cover letters.
Oh yeah, talking about the prompts, I think because I tell my mentees in the Launch and Learn Bootcamp, both of us might be using the same AI, let's say ChatGPT, but the prompt you're giving ChatGPT, it's going to be different from the prompt I give ChatGPT. This is AI, it's not another person. So for AI to actually show up as a person, you need to feed it with as much information as you can about yourself, so that it can be able to help you help yourself.
Yeah, exactly. And the specifics, I think people leave it up to ChatGPT so much. And because especially ChatGPT is widely used more than, I would say, something like Gemini or other, chatbots and everything. So I would say people lack that kind of authenticity, and they forget that another person could be using this, and how do I want to stand out? So that's the problem. And most of the time people even forget to put the name. They say hi, and then hiring manager
name.
Girl, I think it's so serious, and I think as a recruiter, you even get annoyed at that point, because you want to see something authentic. You want to see something that is, true to the person who is applying for this. You want to hear more. You want to see more, and that is where niching down again comes in, because the more you niche down, the more specific, and especially if you get, and the more you are able to be seen for exactly what you are. They say jack of all trades, master of none, but a lot of people want to be jack of all trades. But have you ever had the other part of that, of that saying? It says master of none. And I think a lot of people want to, especially VAs, want to be like widely known for knowing a lot of things, but then you're not a pro in those. And we're not working towards advancing the skills that are needed in the specific niche. So as a recruiter that I have been before, I would say people who niche down had more advantage, more than people who are just coming as general VAs. Especially the word general VAs is something that, and I know there are people who have, are thriving in that. But the market is changing daily. We are advancing daily.
People drastically.
Drastically. And people need, the more specific you get, the more even you'll be able to charge more for your services, because you are a pro and you're a prowess in this certain specific niche that you have chosen. So,
and just to echo what Eva's just said, the more specific you get, the more you're able to like master your craft, and you can even charge more than other people are charging in that particular niche, because that is the craft you have mastered. So we are going to scour through some of the options or some of the niches that are available in the market right now. Actually, some of the most lucrative niches. That is what we're going to be talking about. And back to you, Eve, again. What is one niche you think people can explore as virtual assistants?
I think one niche people can explore as virtual assistants. I will start with the one that I'm currently doing, which is executive virtual assistants.
Yeah.
Meaning that you're helping executives, big people, CEOs, entrepreneurs who are busy and are finding it hard to, find the time and find the time to do such things. So they have bigger things to do. And the reason they hire is because they want you to help them, grow strategically. I would say before I became an executive virtual assistant, I just thought that I would just go to do CEOs would hire me to do the very simple tasks, which is email management and calendar management. But working hand in hand and next to executives, next to CEOs, entrepreneurs, coaches, and big people, is realizing that you become like their business partner, and they include you in the process. They so much involve you. I don't know if it's just me, but the thought process. They involve you so much in that process of, this is where I want to be in the next 3 months. So what can we do? And so you have to be a very strategic person. You have to be as much committed to the business or to the thing that they're trying to create and the business that they're trying to come up with, and the business that maybe they're trying to scale. You have to be that much committed to the process as they are, because that is the match that you can be able to keep. So it's a very lucrative niche to be in. I would say if you master the art to even be able to communicate to these people, be able to employ strategies, be able to be more proactive than they are, because these people are hiring you because they can't find the time. Number one, they have very limited time, and the time that they have, they're trying to use it to do much bigger things. And so you're needed so much in that process. And so it's a very good niche if you would only understand, if you're really even committed to be such a person. And it's even better when you see yourself becoming an entrepreneur in the future, because you get to learn from these people quite a lot. And so it's a very big thing, your clientele being CEOs, entrepreneurs, business people, coaches, and different people. So it's a niche that I have seen to be a very good one, and I would say it's very rewarding at the end of the day.
Yeah, I definitely agree with that. I'm an executive assistant too. And fun fact, I think even as an executive assistant, you can still niche down to something specific in that same space. Like personally, I just work with CEOs and CTOs only. I don't work with CFOs. I try to shy away from accounting and anything bookkeeping, because I can feel like that is a space on its own. And again, for CTOs, it's because I have a tech background, so like it's easier to understand their strategic thought process and come in, step in as their VAs. Another niche that I would talk about right now is medical virtual assistant. The good thing about being a virtual assistant is that you can actually be a virtual assistant in whatever field you want.
Exactly.
As long as it goes with the transferable skills you currently have, technical skills that you can easily learn and you can easily master, and bring in the administrative support to these clients. So for medical virtual assistants who are out there, so if you've done nursing, what else? Medicine.
It's called medicine.
If you've done any course that is on that line of medicine, it's good to explore virtual assistants. So basically, you're going to be helping hospitals. You can even be helping NGOs who have patients. You can help people like therapists who come in, or rather who have a lot of patients coming in and booking appointments. That therapist needs you to book those appointments for them. That therapist needs you to manage her inbox. That therapist needs you for any other tasks like research and even travel if they're traveling. So yeah, medical virtual assistants, it's another niche that is really lucrative in the market right now, and you want to tap into that. What other
Exactly.
niche can you think of?
Another niche is a niche that I really hold dear to my heart because I have done this course or a course that is related to it for 4 years, delayed for 1 whole year. So I'm literally not joking about it. Legal virtual assistant.
Oh, you're a criminal graduate.
Yeah, criminal justice.
Oh, I'm sorry. Obam said that at the virtually vast event.
Obam, I have
and for
beef
some
with
reason
you.
it's
Literally calling me a criminal. I deal with criminals. I'm a
Okay.
criminal justice graduate.
Yeah.
I did criminal justice and security management, famously known as criminology, right?
Oh.
Yeah.
Educate me.
Yeah. So you choose. So for example, when if I would choose to go and do masters, I would either choose criminal justice, which lies more on the end of like law and learning more criminal law and such things.
Yeah.
Security management, you learn the security systems in Kenya, you know, how we can advance that, and, you know, security management basically as itself. But I love to lean more on the criminal justice because I even did my attachment or internship at Milimani Law Courts now.
Hey, damn.
Yeah. So
Yeah, sorry.
yeah, I did that. And when I was actually, something I've not told you, when I was in Milimani Law Courts, I met someone there, a lawyer, and I did some personal assistance for them. Yeah, that was the time I was actually doing the virtual assistance course. So he was like, I really love you know, the skills that you have. You arrive early, you're very proactive. So I'm trying to see if you can do something.
Early? We'll get to that.
We'll get to that. Please don't embarrass me. Anyway, I was like, I used to, I don't know what has happened. But I used to be very proactive on there, and I used to be a very active person, especially in the specific place that I was working. Milimani has a lot of like segments. And so he approached me and we started doing personal assistance. And from there, I think mostly, for example, if you're a legal VA, it means that you're working with lawyers and people of the same sort, and you're helping them because you have knowledge. Number one, you have knowledge of the specific field.
Yeah.
You have knowledge of law. You know, you're more conversant with the terms that are used
and the laws.
Yeah, and the laws, the caps, the cap 40s. You know,
Okay,
you know all of them. What they say. I'm not trying to lose you. So it means that you have knowledge in that. And especially, I think when people understand the art of merging and taking your skills and transferring them to another and seeing how that could work, that is very important, because the way I charge for a person, well, specifically, I would work for legal virtual assistants. I would have to work with lawyers in Kenya because we're working, you know, under the Kenyan law. And that is what I've learned. I've not done international law.
Funny enough, I don't think it's very different. I have a friend who does legal VA and she was a lawyer in Kenya.
Yeah.
It's not very much different. The laws are not as different. Of course, yes, they're different because these are two states or countries or however you want to call them. But yeah, I don't think, especially the virtual assistant side and the admin support side, it's not that different.
Yeah, it's not that different, but it's quite important for you to well, the laws are kind of the same. The difference is in like where the laws apply and such things. So you'd find there is more, if I'm working with a client, you know, in the US, and they would need me to understand a bit of their laws and such things. So I find it much easier to work with clients in Kenya, but I am very open to learning. But maybe that would happen when I start, you know, doing masters and everything. But you find that when you're, you know, specified in a niche, or in, especially you brought your professional knowledge and the other side of like VA, and you merge them together, you can charge as much, because this is something that you have gone for 4 years, you have a degree or you have your master's. And so you're not just going to charge petty money. And I don't know who told you this, but like you can charge as much money in this field as possible. These clients have money, so do not fear to
say it with your chest.
Yeah, say it with your chest, say it with confidence, and work with people who value what you're offering.
Yeah,
so
true.
Legal virtual assistant, let's stop digressing, is a very good field. So if you're doing law out there, you've done criminal justice, you've done criminal law, family law, and even in that, that's like an industry, by the way.
Yeah,
that's a whole industry. So you can also niche down to like family
something
law.
specific.
We have
Yeah.
family law. We have corporate law.
Divorce
We have
law.
I
know of that.
Marital.
Marital.
Such things. Criminal law. So for me, I would come down to criminal law because that is what I am mostly specified in. And so you can, there's an industry. It's very important. It's like beauty is an industry, right?
Yeah.
But we have makeup, we have skincare, we have lashes, we have I don't know, microblading, we have waxing, we have all the other niches. So we have one industry, but you don't have to be specified on each and everything in the same industry. So yeah.
Oh, that's really nice to hear you saying that. I get really excited anytime you say I'm a criminal justice graduate, and I'm like, oh my God. Okay, so let's go in line with, merging your profession, what you did in campus, and merging it with virtual assistants, or what you've learned before and merging it with virtual assistant. And I'm going to talk about a niche that is called tech automations, virtual assistants. So for tech automations, you want to have some tech skills. It could be software engineering, it could be software development, it could be cloud. By the way, I met Obama while I was doing cloud computing.
Oh, really?
So it could be cloud computing, it can be solutions architecture, UI, UX design. There's so many things in tech that you can merge them with admin support and you become a virtual assistant in that field. These people need your skills. These people need support. They need to solve the chaos in their businesses. And the reason why I love working with CTOs, because most of them are tech bigwigs or tech bros who are in the senior leadership. And it's easy to relate because you understand the flow of the product from the early stages to the final stages where it's being deployed to cloud. So for me, I would really understand that easily, and it becomes easier to merge my virtual assistant skills with tech and, also explore automations. And I know now you're thinking, so what if I really want, because this is a very lucrative field. I don't want to lie about that. Tech is a lucrative field. So if you think tech is a lucrative field, merge it with virtual assistants and you're going to be making
untouchable
money. I know. And you're not doing as much work as coding for 11 hours. Yes, I had to throw that in. But anyway, as I was saying, if you think tech is a field you would want to venture in, I don't want you to go start learning about software engineering so that you merge it with virtual assistant for you to become a tech automations virtual assistant. There's something that is called system automations virtual assistant. I'm sure you've heard about it.
Yeah.
And you don't need tech knowledge for this. It's as lucrative as tech automations virtual assistant. And the only thing you need to learn is the project management tools, like ClickUp. Zapier is not a project management tool, but it's an automations tool. So ClickUp, Zapier, you can learn Asana, how to automate Asana. You can learn how to automate Trello. Any product that you can be able to automate, any project management tool that you can be able to automate, any automation tool that you can actually master, you're going to be able to position yourself as a systems automations virtual assistant, and it's another extremely lucrative field.
Yeah, I think I love automating. I enjoy automating. Well, with the money in mind, because when I'm automating, I'm just like, this is money, so we have to get it. I mean, sometimes it gets stressful, especially when tech is not, something that you did. I know for you it's much easier because it's like, basic
A walk in
it's
the
like
park.
it's like but
Oh,
but
actually,
yeah.
on the contrary, though, it's not as easier for a tech person who's done tech courses before to automate something like Zapier. I'm going to
Oh,
tell you why, or ClickUp, because you understand the back end, like you understand what is happening.
yeah.
So if something is not adding up to the knowledge you have, you're always
Mm,
like, oh, what happened with this developer? So you find
yeah.
yourself wasting even way more time than somebody who just came in clueless and they learned how it's done, because you're learning from this client side and you don't have to think about what is happening in the back end.
Yeah. I found Zapier very easy when I started with
Oh,
it.
nice.
Yeah, but integrating like but like you find a client that wants to, integrate more third-party apps.
Yeah.
I was like, what? Like more and more automations happening over here. So but with apps like Notion, Trello,
Yeah.
Asana, these things are just there. You just click
Yeah.
the automate button, and then you start setting triggers, and then you make sure that you put in data that actually makes sense, and it's
Yeah.
going to be much easier for the system to automate, or the tool that you're using to automate. So I think it's a very important thing, and AI has come to really help a lot
Yeah.
of us. I think in every niche there's going to be somewhere you're at least automating,
Yeah.
or you are somewhere using AI in one way or
Yeah,
another.
it's true. I
Yeah.
don't think you can actually be a very efficient virtual assistant if you do not incorporate the automations and the AI part of it.
Yeah.
And one good thing about anyone who is learning Zapier for the first time, once you sign up to the account, now I know this because of my mentees,
Mhm.
once you sign up to the account, I think after a day or couple of hours, they send you tutorials daily of something about Zapier.
Yeah.
And those tutorials are really nice because Zapier has done their due diligence before they can send you
100%.
those tutorials. What is another niche that you can think of that is quite lucrative?
Another niche that I've not explored this, but I have friends
Yeah.
who do this. Real estate virtual assistants. Yeah. That's a very big one. Clock that.
Where were my nails now?
They're not clicking. We have to get the long nails, to clock it.
Almost there.
Yeah. Okay. So real estate virtual assistants is another field. I actually wanted to venture into real estate. Fun fact about me, I have watched every reality show on Netflix. Each and every single one of it. Cricket. So most of them are just, especially real estate ones, I was really rooted and really down to learning more about real estate. And so I was like, okay, I think I can do this the way it's something you watch, it's like, oh, this is so easy.
Yeah.
Coming to the Kenyan market, I found real estate to be really, really tough, and especially as an agent. It's sort of just like, let me just give up on it. But I really love real estate down to my core. I think one of my dreams is to have an apartment somewhere in this country and venture into that space. But as a virtual assistant in the real estate industry, of course, you have to learn more about like the terms, the terminology, escrows, listings, such things. And of course, understand more about it. Real estate in itself, without you even being a virtual assistant, leave virtual assistants alone. It's very lucrative. It has a lot of money in it. And then now add your virtual assistant skills. You're going to be unstoppable. You're going to be propelling up.
You're going to be making mad money.
You're going to be making mad money.
Yeah.
Because you really understand the art. You're not just helping with just admin. You have the understanding and the knowledge of this field to the core.
True.
That you can be able to help, a couple of people. You can be able to help people who, are, own these big buildings in these countries, and learning skills that are very valuable in that field as well. Something they obviously have to track finances. So learn something about QuickBooks or something of the sort, and interact with such tools. maybe they have like a website, learn website
something.
management,
CRMs,
CRMs,
project
such things,
management
lead management,
tool.
Creating email lists and such things, email marketing. Now these are the skills, and I think in every niche that we have talked about, it's more about learning the skills that are valuable there and maximizing on those, making sure that you're maximizing on the knowledge around those skills, so that you're not just, I'm a real estate virtual assistant, and then you're just seated there and you don't know lead management. How are you going to help someone if you don't have lead management tools? You're just seated there. I don't know. You just know the admin part of, you're just bringing virtual assistants. You just know the knowledge in that. Maybe whatever you learned in real estate, and then on the other end, you just know, on the other end of like virtual assistants, you just know email management, calendar management, data entry, such skills. I don't want to call them basic, but they are basic.
They
according
are.
to where we are.
Basic because they are, call us spooners. That is what I know you for.
They are basic skills. So you need to learn the hardcore skills that are needed in every niche for you to understand. Because you have to go and Google or even search, ask ChatGPT, what do virtual assistants or virtual assistants in a certain specific niche do on a daily, and then it's going to give you a list. What in that list don't you have already? Go and learn that. And I think many people are rushing into wanting to get clients without learning the skill set first, and that's why people are so frustrated. Like the DMs I get are just people with frustrations. They're so frustrated. And then when I have a discovery call with them, because I love having a discovery call or a call to get to know someone better, I just realized that you don't have skills. You haven't spent time mastering the skill, mastering the craft, mastering the art of whatever you're doing, but you want to get clients. And your biggest frustration is how you're going to get clients. Your biggest frustration should be, how will I learn these skills, and how will my portfolio be full of things that are going to actually make me stand out? Because I've told you, during my cohort, there were 30,000 people, and now I can only imagine that there's more people.
Of course.
And we're not only talking about Kenya, we're talking about even other countries. Now, I didn't get the number of people or virtual assistants.
Nigerians are coming up in this field, and
and they have a big population in Africa, biggest population in Africa. So you can only imagine. Right now, I train people, I coach people, and I mentor people even in Ghana and Nigeria. And if I would tell you right now, I think the number between Kenya and Nigeria that I've coached is they have a very small difference. Kenya is I have coached more people, but even Nigerians that are coming up to the number, or almost
I think number. It's just basically the entire Africa, because all my boot camps, both June and July, I've had international students, even from Dubai. This is a niche everybody is tapping. This is an industry everybody is tapping into, and you're just sleeping on the job, really. You're sleeping on this opportunity. And talking about real estate, we had somebody on the Virtually Vast event who talked about construction management, virtual assistant, construction management, virtual. So if that is an industry you're in, construction, architecture, real estate, I think you can position yourself well in that niche and make mad money. The other niche I would talk about that is quite lucrative right now, it's something we're actually doing here: podcast management, virtual assistants. There's a time I found this meme online, and it was saying, whether you're a peasant or a king, the urge to start a podcast. King Charles has a podcast, there's just that urge to start a podcast. But most of these people are starting podcasts, me included. We don't have the skills of how to do the podcast management, edit the videos, research on the guests, email the guests, do everything that is included in that. For researching the guests, you first find the guest. Like I had to go look for you, check your TikTok, get all the information I need before you come into this podcast. King Charles, for instance,
Yeah.
wouldn't do that, right?
Mhm.
So he needs somebody to do that
For
on
them.
his behalf. And to so many other podcasters out here, those who are in the entertainment industries, most of the podcasts that are doing well, they're virtual assistants behind that. So if you are somebody who is good in graphics, you're able to create very nice thumbnails. Like for me,
Yeah.
the reason why we're in a studio today is because I can't be able to do all these things by myself, right?
Yeah.
So if you're able to do graphics, you're able to do those thumbnails, you can become a virtual assistant in that field. If you're able to do video editing, if you're
Yeah.
able to do any management that is involved in the podcast, and
Yeah,
then now you
scripting.
merge exactly, and
Yeah.
then you merge now that with the virtual assistant support, that is, doing the email management, scheduling the podcast, the
Yeah.
shoot days, the release days, what else? Researching the guests and everything else that is involved in that podcast. That is
Analytics as
another,
well.
yes,
Like
and
when you post a
analytics.
video on YouTube, you're gonna get analytics and coming up with a report after that.
Yes,
Yeah.
and also if you need to also have some social media management skills for you to venture in this podcast management niche very well, because again, the podcast will need to go online, they'll need to
Yeah.
go to TikTok, they'll need to go to Instagram. So yeah, this is another lucrative field that you can venture in and you can make very good money.
I've actually
Podcast
thought
management.
about it, and I think I could do very well in this.
Oh,
I'm
really?
very good with design.
Mhm.
I actually have a YouTube channel, but I don't like people going to that YouTube channel because
Why?
my first video, oh Jesus Christ, I think I need to delete it even. I think I would do very well because I do have quite a lot of skills, surrounding that. So that's something maybe I should rethink and contact Virtually Vast for some.
We are here to
virtual
help the helpless. We are here to help the poor. The poor at heart, the poor at heart.
Gonna send my email and my portfolio. Gonna have to create a different one for that.
Yeah,
but
and
it's a very good one.
I think in the virtual assistant industry, if one niche is not working for you, explore another niche.
Yeah,
I tell
have
the
as many
mentees,
portfolios.
exactly have 3 to 4 portfolios.
Yeah,
Have this for this, have this for this, and have this for this. Here's something else I talk about in my boot camps. It's called the niche ecosystem. So basically what you're doing is having a one-stop shop in your portfolio. Don't have more than 3 portfolios. I mean, don't have more than 3 niches in that portfolio, but all the 3 niches need to go hand in hand. For instance, for podcast management, if your clients that you're targeting are podcasters or in the entertainment industry, ensure in your portfolio you have 3 niches. One of the niches, the podcast management. The other niche can be social media, because for podcast, you need social media management skills. And the other niche can be something like research, because you'll need the research skills. So that is you creating an ecosystem or a one-stop shop in a way that you know the clientele you're focusing on, and you want them, once they come across your portfolio, they're able to find everything they would want from just one person.
Just correlate with each other somehow.
I expound more on it and how to go about that in my bootcamps. But before we even get to
sign up right now.
Yes.
Is that the September bootcamp?
Yeah, there's the September and the October bootcamp as well, depending on when this episode will go out. So just check out my TikTok page. On my bio, you'll always find the next bootcamp there. So anyway, before we finish on the niches, there's one niche I kind of feel like people really want to go into that niche, but I'm very much against it. Which niche do you think I'm talking about?
I think you're talking about the administrative support.
Perfect. Because now you can read
I'm a mind reader. Oh my God.
Because now you can read minds. Why do you think I would be against somebody niching down as a general admin, for instance, or just an administrative assistant?
As we said earlier on this podcast when we were starting, we said this industry is really growing, and there's a lot of competition, and there's businesses are really growing, right? And these are like, if you look at the scope of the services that you're offering under administrative support, you're talking of email management, you're talking of calendar management, data entry, what others, research and such things. And if you look at those skills, these are things that you, even yourself, you do daily without much to think about. You can do daily without, there's not much that goes into it exactly. And if you're looking for high-end clients and you're looking for people who are going to hire you and pay you well, then I think no one is just going to hire you for just those skills
admin
alone.
Support,
admin support alone. No one is going to hire you in this day and age. In 2025, now we are heading to 2026, only how many months? 4 or 3? And you think someone is just going to hire you for just those basic skills that they can. You need to have more. You need to learn more. You need to make yourself more resourceful, because you need to, we're in the AI era. If you don't know how to use AI, then what are you doing? We have Gemini, which has come and is now merged to email management. There's more like advancements even when it comes to these things. And I think people are just learning the basics and you don't want to improve on that. So I think it's a good one to start with, but it's very basic that it's needed in each and every niche that you have talked about. There's no niche that you're going to find yourself at you're not doing administrative work.
I think basically what you are talking about merging, it's you merging administrative work with that specific niche.
Exactly. Now that you have a big skill set and you have more knowledge about the specific niche and industry that you're venturing into. So I think that's why
and I know you brought up the aspect of time. This is the time to actually look for clients between September and March. This is the high season, guys, for getting clients, for getting virtual assistant clients. And this is the secret weapon to all businesses out there, to all, like, every CEO needs a virtual assistant who is working at the background and, running the show when they're out of office or something like that. And I think we've explored many niches today, around 6. And for any other niches that people would want to explore, I think you can talk about that on your TikTok channel after this episode airs. What do you think?
Yeah, I will talk about that. Another thing I would want to explore, of course, I will expand on more. You've said there's like more than 300 niches.
There are more
niches. So it's all about you maximizing on the knowledge that you have and being smart and strategic in this industry. I think there's like niches, I think I call them sub-niches. When you choose a niche, I think the most important thing when you're trying to even identify your ideal client, because that is something I include in my coaching, like someone being able to identify your ideal client, because it's part of niching down. We have skill niche, and then we have problem niche, and then we have client niche, right? Skill niche is obviously what you're going to be offering, the skills that you have and how they can be, who needs them and how they can be able to be, transferred and where they fall under, the category they fall under. The other one is the problem niche. The problem niche is the problem that you're trying to solve for your ideal client, right? But obviously, even before that, you need to identify who your client niche is, who you're dealing with. Are you dealing with coaches? Are they just female? Some people have preferences. You just choose to work with females, or you just choose to work with males. But you need to identify who is your client, which skills you're going to be offering, and the problem you're solving. Are you saving time for them? Are you, are you saving time for them? Are you trying to, organize them with the organizational skills? What are you bringing to the table? Now, this is where women, this is where, start thinking about what you're bringing to the other table. There's no
does
table.
Does not matter.
Look at the men in the set. The other table, that's the only table that matters, by the way, and that's the only time you should be worrying.
The only table you should answer what you bring
to. So exactly. I think that's a very important thing, even as we are talking about the niches, identifying the skill niche, the problem niche, and the client niche.
And I think you mentioned a very important aspect, what you bring to the table, because again, that is going to will I say it's going to direct how much you can also charge, because basically you want to charge for value. You want to charge more on what value you're bringing to this client, because it's not about charging, it's you being compensated for that value. So the more value you bring to one client, the better compensation you can get from that client, or the better compensation you can feel confident to ask for, right? And just quick, what are some of the factors you need to consider while you're niching down?
I think one of the factors that you need to consider while you're niching down is your expertise.
Yeah.
Expertise for sure. What are you an expert in? What do you mostly want to, really, I'm sorry guys, celebrating. What are you an expert in, and what are things that you really find you can easily do, right?
Yeah.
That is number one. Number two, the type of clients that you want to work with. Number three, the remuneration, or
the money. It's very important. Do your market research on how much these niches are paying, because that will also factor in when you're charging for your services. Money is important, because where again are you trying to work?
Yeah, exactly. And big money can be made. I think people just hear the word assistant and they just think, just an assistant.
Yeah, a glorified secretary.
Where? Can't
I'm an
you?
engineer. She's a lawyer.
Yeah. What do you mean? I'm going to be helping a lawyer. I'm going to be hand in hand with them, and I'm not only assisting them. It's like we are working together for the success of the business. The other thing that I need people to be really specific with and to factor in when you're trying to niche down is. And coming back to the point of like the clientele you're trying to work with, is the location of the people that you want to work with. Now, Kenya, my country, I love my country so much. Isipokuwa ni jana walituangusha kwa ile ball. But I think international clients are much better. Clients in the US,
I honestly don't think I know.
I know too. Ask me, because you need to also come down to that.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
The type of people you're trying to work with and where they are located. And I usually tell people, even when you go to like LinkedIn and you're trying to filter out and you're trying to do the cold pitching, right? And you're looking for the ideal. So for example, if you use the search bar very well and you search CEOs, and there's the different locations for filtering out. You should be able to filter out like US, UK, such things, because you don't want clients on Aksumba, honestly. And if I'm truly honest, you will find there are very many by the good clients in Kenya, but unfortunately
they don't pay as well. I mean, it just goes without saying, somebody paying you $100 and somebody paying you 100 Kenyan shillings. If you convert the $100 and the 100 Kenyan shillings, I mean,
and we're talking per
mathematics,
where find a plus minus a value of X. So make sure that you also, while you're niching down, you're also focused on
the clientele,
where they're located, who they are, the company, the industry they're working in, and such things.
Talking about location. Talking about location, I don't understand Australian English. Oh my god!
Really? I've never had a client from Australia. They have an accent, a very strong accent.
In fact, just go check Australian English, try to understand it, and then come back to me and let me know if that is English you understand. Yes, the English is good, but you need to like really verse yourself with their English for you to be able to understand them. So US clients, UK clients, you won't have a problem with their English. Some people you'd have the communication barrier, like if it's a French citizen, their T is Z, so instead of saying the, they would say Z.
For sure.
These are things you'd want. Do your research before you actually settle on a clientele and where you want to be getting your clients from. I think this was a very nice episode and a very educative one for that matter. So tune in to the next episode where Eve and I will be scurrying through life life, and just to get to know Eve at a deeper level. As at now, keep it here, keep virtually vast, where we verse you with the virtual assistant industry as a whole. This is just not vibes, it's vibes that can make you make money. Until next episode, bye.
Bye.
Sema bye.
Bye.